Greetings, and welcome back to the MCOC Encyclopedia. Today, we will be continuing our journey into Act 6, covering all of the easiest paths. If multiple paths are an option in a quest, I will cover them all. Remember that these are just what I found easier, and your roster and experiences may vary. So let's dive in. Act 6, Chapter 2, Quest number 6, Round 2. Not sure where round 1 went, but time to face down the champion. The global in this quest is... there isn't one. Each champion on the path we will be taking does have a local node, but most of them are fairly inconsequential. In fact, the majority of this path is fairly simple if you bring the right counters. The path we'll be taking is straight down the middle through Stark Enhanced Spider-Man. Going through the path, a few defenders stand out. Hyperion, Iceman, Magic, and Void. Hulk Ragnarok is also a bit annoying, but that's more from his node. Hyperion has his usual power gain, and his local node makes it harder and harder to control his buffs each time you do nullify, stagger, or fate seal one of them. It notably doesn't include neutralize though, so you can bring strong power control champions such as Doom or Magic, or a neutralize option such as Rintra, Tigra, or Wiccan. For Iceman, we just need someone that's Cold Snap immune, and we have many options here. Colossus, Torch, Absorbing Man in Magma form, Iceman himself, Corvus, Warlock, and so on. For Magic, we need some way around her limbo damage, or just nuke her down as quickly as possible, so we take much less damage ourselves. Awakened Archangel can shut her down with his Neuros and the ability accuracy reduction that comes from them. Omega Red will take no damage if he triggers the Limbo with a medium or heavy attack. Torch will have a stupid amount of damage versus Mystics, and anyone with high energy resistance, as the Limbo damage is energy based, such as Havoc or to push Yellow Jacket, can also work. For Void, we just need to count our combo. We will remove his debuffs every 10 hits, so don't lose your combo and time it well so that the debuff gets removed with minimal damage. Pretty much anyone can do this fight if you are careful. His local node means that he will go fully unblockable under 25% health, so be prepared for this. If you're using a big burst damage champion, try to line it up so that your big damage comes just as you cross that threshold, so you can bypass that last 25% in its entirety. I will briefly touch on Hulk Ragnarok as well. He has Mighty Charge 3, which basically means you can't parry him from a distance or intercept him. Reparries are very useful here if you have them down, and also you might want to try and keep his charges under 100 so he doesn't get his smash attack on every hit. And if this video is helping you, please check the local node on the like button. So now, time for the boss, the champion. This guy isn't as scary as he used to be, but he's still definitely worth a look. He has phases from 100 to 70%, 70 to 30, 30 to 10, and 10 to 0. Make sure you keep an eye on his timer so that you'll know when he'll be triggering his primal rage. This will give him furies equal to his number of charges, and if he gains 2 or more furies, he will also gain an unstoppable. These buffs are quite long, so can make it very difficult to get anything done if he's unstoppable 70 to 80% of the time. In his first phase, nothing major changes, but note he will start with 3 charges, so that's 3 furies and an unstoppable right at the start of the fight. Be prepared for this. As you are running in, think, he will be unstoppable, he will be unstoppable, he will be unstoppable. In phase 2, if he hits you whilst he is unstoppable, you will be stunned. This can lead to some really nasty stun chains if you aren't careful. Also, his light attacks are now unblockable. Parry him from a distance to make sure that he is using a medium, or just intercept him. In phase 3, all of the champion's medium attacks are now unblockable, and any stun or damage over time debuffs applied to him are instantly purified. In the final phase, the champion gains 3 passive indestructible charges. These are removed one at a time by dexing the champion's special attacks. You have to properly dex it though, not just avoid it. You need that dex buff and dex text to appear, or it won't count. It is well worth practicing this before you go into the fight. Once all 3 are gone though, you're free to take down the final 10% of his health. These charges do persist from fight to fight. If you only get 1 and then get KO'd and go back in, he will have 2 left. Your progress is saved each time. Best options here are champions with strong buff control and slow champions that can get around his unstoppable. Remember, we are still fighting the champion. We can remove his charges, remember he'll have 3 at the start, by nullifying or staggering his buffs. He only goes unstoppable when he has 2 or more charges, so if we can keep the charges down, the fight will become a lot easier. A lot of mystics can do this. Claire, Diablo with his pre-fight, Doom, Jugs, Longshot, Mojo, Sorcerer Supreme, Symbiote Supreme, the Hood, and so on. Neutralized champions can also work, with Rintra, Wiccan, and Tigra being the best options, and finally Absorbing Man reduces the duration of his opponent's unstoppables, so he can also work. Slow champions are an option, but they aren't as good as mystics in my opinion. She-Hulk and Spider-Gwen are probably the best option, though others can work. They require more skill to play and aren't as safe. I will demo both a slow champion and a mystic in the follow-up video, so I hope this becomes clearer there. For an ideal team, let's start with the problems on the path, and then we'll move to the boss. Colossus is a good Iceman counter, and Awaken Archangel will work well for magic. Sub in over these 2 for your own counters, depending on your roster. Colossus can be used for a lot of the rest of the path as well, but there are still some fights we should think about. Void can be played around with pretty much anyone, as can Hulk Ragnarok. This only leaves us with Hyperion, and given we'll be bringing lots of mystics for the boss, we should be able to cover him. We'll come back to him once we've done our boss counters. Speaking of, let's choose a slow option and a mystic. She-Hulk has slow on her heavy attack and great damage, and Dr. Doom is amazing all round, so they will cover slots 3 and 4. Doom will be perfect for Hyperion, so we don't have to worry about him anymore. With 1 slot left, you can either bring someone extra for the boss or for the path. If you're going to bring someone for the path, I'd recommend a skill champion for Void and Hulk Ragnarok, but it's entirely up to you. I have confidence that I'll be able to clear the path without issues, so I'll be going for another boss counter. I'll be going with Sorcerer Supreme, but anyone from before will work just fine. Fairly soon after this video goes out, I will try and get up a short commentated video of me going through this path with the exact team I suggest. It'll be much more relaxed, but should hopefully give you some more insight into how I looked around getting these issues. I will also start answering popular questions from the comments in that video, so please leave yours down below if you have one. As always, remember this is story content, so it won't be going anywhere anytime soon. If you get stuck here and find yourself spending lots of resources, stop and focus on something else. The monthly event quest and side quests are great places to pick up more materials, shards and units, as are the battlegrounds and the arena. So that's it. Everything you need to know to clear 6.2.6. Up next, we'll be looking at Shuri before we jump into 6.3.1. Let me know if there's anything else you would like to see. Some of my Discord members have been asking about a roster tour of my main champions, so I can always do something like that. We will also have to keep the tier list up to date, with Maestro and Onslaught coming soon, as well as moving around a few champions. Keep an eye out for more announcements in the future, so you can have your say in what we see. I do have a Discord server, so please go and join that. It's a great place to get specific advice, make suggestions for future video topics, and as long as I'm awake, I'm there to help. If you have any questions, please do leave them below, and please do all the YouTube stuff. Thank you, and I will see you next time.